Yeah, I enjoy that. Like that, it's almost like that relationship with the deer. But to your point, it does get can get stressful, and you can't, I know you had a deer a few years
I
back.
did it one time, man.
What was that? Big giant 8-pointer or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a monster 8-point.
Yeah.
Ended up grossing 174 and something. And like I thought he was dead because I had some cameras out through the summer on minerals and never got a picture. Then on August 23rd, it was a Sunday because I remember I woke up and got my camera, my phone, and I'm sitting there and I said, "Oh shit!" And I started hitting Stacy, and I jumped up and I was like, "Yes, he's alive! He's alive!" Lord, that deer drove me crazy that year.
Welcome to the Just Hunt podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Just Hunt podcast. The weather's finally started to turn here, so I'm feeling a lot better about everything.
Snow's almost gone.
Snow's almost gone. Days are getting longer, and we have Mr. Josh Ilderton from West Virginia on today, and I'm excited
going on,
about it.
fellas?
How's it going, man? If you guys, I think most people probably watching are familiar with you, but Josh is, runs a YouTube channel and owns a YouTube channel, The Untamed, which we've collaborated with on a lot of stuff the last few years. It's been super fun, particularly turkeys. They've been up, and John's been down with you.
Yeah,
I'm itching to get down with you in that country, like bad, and just trying to find the time to do it.
you just gotta make the time, Brett.
We'll see. We'll see in about what, like a month and 5-6 weeks, something like that. See if I can sneak down.
Comes in late this year too.
What's that? Is it late?
Yeah.
Is it?
Is that too far away?
Yeah.
When does your season
No,
start?
you're good.
What does it run down there?
It doesn't open until the 21st of April this year, and it's only open 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. Let's get into. I actually, for myself, not just the viewers, want the full story of Josh, because I literally you're a wild man. I want to know how this came to be about. Did you grow up right there where you're at?
Yeah, I grew up in Logan, West Virginia. Yeah, where I work now. I live like 80 miles away now. But
and for I'll just preface this: anybody in the Northeast that's watching, you live in coal country and you live in legit mountains, rugged,
Southern West Virginia,
super it's awesome there. It's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, wrecked my first vehicle when I was like 4 years old. Been giving it hell ever since, man. I accidentally, they didn't have the safety feature back then where it'd lock out if you put it in park.
Yeah.
And turn the key off.
Yeah.
And we were, my family had a small furniture store here in Logan, and I climbed up in there, and they were delivering furniture to our house. And I remember the old man, he had just bought one, a brand new, I think it was one of those AMG, like the Woody Eagles, like the 4-door, old school. Man, he was so proud of it. And I got in there and I was young, and I pulled that shifter down and hit neutral and rolled back and just crilled his brand new car.
Roll it off the mountain.
No, I mean I don't know if I'm wild, Brett, but I just I believe we got so much time here, and I'm gonna have a good time while I'm here. I mean,
yeah,
everybody has their struggles, and you know everybody has their daily demons or whatever they deal with, and I do too. But I'm gonna enjoy every damn second that I can, because I might not wake up tomorrow. That's kind of how I look at it. And,
yeah.
And I've always been that way. I mean, I take a lot of chances, a lot of risks, but I firmly believe that it doesn't matter if you're mowing grass or you're out there you know, on a live fire range, if it's your time to come, you're just going to fall over.
Yeah.
No. A lot of people say, well, Josh, you could try to prevent some of this stuff from happening. But I just never lived that way.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's pretty evident. I feel like it's like I said, you're a wild man, which is good, I think. So obviously you hunt a bunch of stuff now. Did you grow up hunting all the same stuff in the mountains down there?
Yeah. I mean, when I grew up, my mom and dad got divorced early. And then my dad didn't hunt. Of course, he was in North Carolina and wasn't around a whole lot growing up. And my grandfather kind of took me under his wing, but like he didn't really hunt.
Yeah.
He hunted, but like he was like the traditional guy that was, you know, during deer season. Of course, I wasn't allowed to go to deer camp until I was 14, I think, 13 or 14. But they would go sit in a place and then they'd just stay there just all day long. You know, they would go hunt squirrels and they'd sit under a hickory tree and they'd kill every damn squirrel out of that tree they could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were just more traditional hunters. And then I started bow hunting probably when I was 14 or 15, and never killed any big deer through like my teenage years. Killed a lot of does, killed a lot of spikes.
Were there big deer back then in that area?
Yeah.
Or is it better now or what?
Yeah, there was monster deer back then. There weren't as many.
Okay.
Back then, I'm going to say in the late 80s, there might have been 4 or 5 deer a square mile.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was that low there. Wow.
Oh, it used to be down in 1.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they brought the wild boar in.
Right, yeah. That's kind of a cool story.
Because the coal miners didn't have anything to hunt.
Yeah.
But now, you know, we're in double digits now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got, you know, I went in the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps for a little over 5 years. And then once I got out of the Marine Corps, man, I was wired pretty tight. And I started hunting, and it gives me, it's like my happy place.
Yeah.
You know, whether I kill, you know, I'm going to have fun no matter what I'm doing. But like when I'm out there, I can go out there and not see a damn thing and enjoy it and just give me some peace.
Yeah.
You know, I can't strangle nobody in the woods. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Maybe a camera guy.
So, you know, and then I started hunting pretty serious. I got with a guy here and we became buddies. And I, being the kind of personality and the intensity level that I kind of just naturally have, I'd always heard about him ground hunting. So we started turkey hunting together. And I hadn't killed I'd only killed like 2 turkeys up to this point, and I'd never killed one with a shotgun. I reached out there and grabbed him with a 243 like AT&T. You know what I'm saying? I mean, during season, but you're allowed to hunt with a rifle here in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of opportunity presented itself. So he took me turkey hunting the first year, the spring I got out of the Marine Corps, and it took all season. I mean, we hunted just about every day, and I finally killed one. We had several encounters, but I screwed up a lot moving and just not knowing turkey. But I killed my first turkey, spring gobbler, that spring, and was hooked immediately. But then we started hunting that fall together, and he ground hunted a lot. And I ended up, I didn't kill a deer on the ground that year. I killed a decent buck, probably 115, 120 inch deer out of a tree stand. And then the next year I killed my first deer on the ground. And since then, I mean, that's been really what I've focused on.
So I have a question about that part of it. So all your ground hunting for whitetails in that area in like reclaimed cold ground, is there any, have you done any of that in stuff that is not like open-ish that you have the visual? Have you done it in like big timber country that like you can't see and glass them?
I killed a real nice 9-point back in Lord, I don't know. It was in the mid 2000s, late 2000s.
Yeah.
I killed 2 seasons in a row. I killed 2 bucks on the ground in timber.
Okay.
Ground hunting.
So
it's totally different, Brett. I mean, you're not spotting and stalking in the timber. You're actually just hunting.
Yeah.
It's kind of more still hunting, kind of what how y'all deer hunt up there.
Yeah.
And then you got your glassing, which, 90% of it's on reclaimed mine lands.
Yeah.
Because of the openness. But hunting on the ground, I do about probably 70-30, 30% in the woods. But the conditions has got to be right.
When's the last time you sat in a tree for a deer?
Well, I mean,
I know you do sometimes.
To me, Brett, we've discussed this. Sitting in a tree to you is different than sitting in a tree to me. I'll do 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
In a saddle.
Yeah.
And then I got beat feet and move.
Yeah.
But I've killed I killed a deer 3-4 years ago out of a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything against hunting out of a tree. I mean, if it calls for it and I got a chance to kill a deer,
sure.
I'm climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
I just have more fun, and I see more and learn more when I'm on the ground.
Yeah. Do you think that if you didn't have that reclaimed coal stuff, you would be on the ground as much as you are?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think I would still hunt on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
Depending on the season, depending on the weather. It was really dry down here this past fall, so I hunted in the timber in the tree a lot. Because the crunch just kills you.
Yeah.
And you can't cover no ground. But I think I would probably be down to like a 50-50 split. Because I like covering ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't learn anything unless I'm moving.
Yep.
And the hounds help me learn a lot of stuff because, you're falling behind them. They take you to places that you don't want to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
But you find places, too, that nobody else is finding.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought of that. Makes sense.
I'm just curious. In that type of country, like, I'm sure there's obviously roads pretty much everywhere to get to. I'm sure there's places that there aren't also. But how far are you having to get off the beaten path to, like, get away from where people are willing to go?
I would say on average, this past season, on average, we'd walk anywhere from 2 to 3 miles in is what we were walking to where we were hunting this past fall.
Are you able to use e-bikes or anything out there?
Negative.
No. So it's all on foot. Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
If we had mules
or
horseback, we could ride them in.
No shit. Just no motorized.
The law says something about 750 amps or 750 volts or whatever it is.
I think we have something like that here too.
I have no idea. Never looked into it.
If you get caught with one, they're writing you a ticket down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I like to walk in. I don't have any issues with it because there's just not a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
But it gets hard on you as you get older. The first 3 or 4 days, it ain't too bad because, you're stoked up.
Right.
But then you run into day 30, 35 that you're hunting, and you feel like a box of beat up assholes by that point. I'm just
right.
here to tell you.
And like I said, that country out there is rugged as it gets.
Yeah.
It really is.
See some of the videos of you sending your dogs off after a bear, and they just go over the edge, like through this wall of brushy, thorny shit, and then
straight down and up.
Just straight down.
It's rugged.
Yeah. Most of the time, there's going to be a ridge road.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a road in the main holler.
Yeah.
Or the main drainage area. But there's not going to be roads in your adjacent hollers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
You if you get into some areas in the county or in this region, you might get fortunate enough to where there's quite a bit of side-by-side four-wheeler access.
Yeah.
2-track, I guess, is what the industry word is.
Yeah.
But it's not very often. I mean, when we hunt these reclaimed mines, we can kind of run and gun. But when we're on public, it's all foot traffic.
Yeah. So obviously the reclaimed mines are good for wildlife because of the early succession growth and the edge and just the habitat and plant diversity. In the stuff, is most of the stuff that you hunt have that? Are you hunting some areas that are just all like mature timber too?
Well, in those areas, there's both.
Okay. Yeah.
So, during mining, they're only going down to a certain seam of coal.
Yeah.
And that's what the permit allows them. So they'll clear cut all the way down to that seam.
Okay.
So everything below that is standing hardwoods.
Okay.
So you actually have the best of both worlds. The thing that we have here, and I know you all manage deer and really do a good job at it. The thing we have here, and I truly believe why we have big deer, is one, the habitat's great, but two, they have time to grow.
Yeah.
I think on average, I read it last year, and I could be wrong, but I think the average age of deer killed in southern West Virginia is 6 years old.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
How many bucks can you kill?
One.
Oh.
You can kill. You can kill two statewide. You can kill one in one with your bow, and then one with a gun, or two with your bow, as long as one of them comes out of an arch. We have 4 archery only counties.
Mm-hmm.
One of them can come out of there, and one can come from anywhere else in the state.
Gotcha. Yeah. So in the timber, are you focused? I mean, what's the main food? Are you focused what's the hot feeding area? Is it like mature oak stands, or is it like the reclaim?
Yeah, it's going to be you checking those pin oaks to see if they fall first.
Yeah.
And we've got some bur oak, but most of it's white oak and red and black oak.
Yep.
And you just got to find them. I mean, because they're not dropping every year.
Yeah.
It's been very sporadic. Probably the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That you'll find a ridge that's, plumb covered with acorns, and then you'll go through a low gap and hit the other side of the ridge, and there won't be nothing over there.
Yeah.
It ain't. I mean, I was so surprised. I came up and hunted with Lucas Benoit.
Yep.
This fall, or this past fall.
Yep.
I've never seen acorns like I seen up there. It was just unreal.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in West Virginia.
Yeah,
that's
tripping over.
I think that's why we have any sort of deer, turkey, and bear population. I think if we didn't have that, I mean, we did have 2 years. The last 2 years before, well, I guess it'd have been 23 and 22 was spotty, and some or not at all. But it's pretty consistent. We have that like a crop like last year. It's usually it's like 4 out of every 5 years. It's like
yeah.
And I think that's the reason we actually have some good deer and bear, and we have a bunch of turkeys because of that. Because without that, I would struggle for sure if it was spotty every year. So, Yeah, there's a lot of some of these areas.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I couldn't hardly stand up in some places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then we got beech. They love beech nuts, the turkeys, the bears, the hogs, the deer. And then we got a lot of hickory. Of course, I've not seen deer eat hickory nuts, but, the bear love them. I mean, I've sat there and watched them crack them, and it sounds like they're eating marbles.
Yeah. Oof.
It's unreal. But and then after that, I mean, you just got your regular browse, a lot of blackberry, a lot of greenery.
Yeah.
A lot of sawbriars, a lot of honeysuckle.
Yeah.
That honeysuckle is usually your late season magnet that if we find a real good honeysuckle patch and it's been real cold, like this past year, we had a pretty rough winter for down here, and that late season they were in the honeysuckle. It's pretty much the only thing out.
How late does your season go?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you get some of that later stuff. Nice.
Maybe we should tell Vincent about that. He won't.
The honey. Yeah, but I don't. Is it bush honeysuckle, or is it like Is it a different? Do you know what kind of honeysuckle it is?
No.
Okay.
We did. I mean, we eat it.
You eat it?
Yeah, man.
Doesn't surprise me.
You never tried honeysuckle?
No.
Dude, you got to pull the center. You take the center stem.
Yeah.
And you pull it from the bottom because it's got a bulb on the top of the center, and you hold it and you pinch the bottom and pull it all the way through. And when you only get just a little teensy bit of honeysuckle juice on the end of it, man. But you talking about so sweet and good. Oh,
is that why they call it honeysuckle?
You got to try it.
See, we don't really have it here. We have it in New York though, where my farm is, and I'm just not super familiar with it. I know that part of the world's got a lot of it, but
it's a late season magnet.
Is it?
Yeah,
is what it is.
Huh. Okay, so that's we've talked in the past about it, but I'd like to actually pick your brain about the specifics of it.
I think that habitat wise, I don't think there's any better habitat that I've not hunted whitetails very few places. I've pretty much stayed in the Appalachian region and the Ohio Valley. Yeah. Other than, I ventured out to Indiana before. We hunt western Kansas, which is a lot different.
Yeah.
And I hunted Kansas this last fall, but that's pretty much it. So I don't know a whole lot of different areas about whitetails other than the Appalachian Range and the Ohio Valley.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's awesome. I just wish I had more time to get down there. It's like really at the top of my list of places to spend some time. I think it's like there, and I really wanted for whitetails. Well, turkeys would be cool too up there, but I really like that, like northern Idaho, like eastern Washington, western Montana, like that stuff looks really awesome. So that's on the list, but I have a pretty short list, and definitely southern West Virginia is right up there.
I fell in. I mean, like I said, I hadn't hunted a lot of different places for deer, and I drew my tag last year for Kansas, and I absolutely loved it out there.
Yeah,
I mean, we just had a great. We were out there 11 days, and it was just a great experience. And where I didn't kill like that Kansas buck everybody talks about. Yeah. What I learned was those are very few far between.
I think most people that go out there to that part of the world, Kansas, you think you're going to kill a 180, but probably going to kill
180 is a lot of bone. I don't give a damn where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, my thought process going out there was like this. I said if I'd kill it in West Virginia, I'll kill it in Kansas.
Yeah. That's not a bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my goal was, 130, 135 inch deer. And we had several opportunities, had really good hunts, and I didn't, I killed like 120-inch deer, but damn, if the hunt wasn't awesome.
Yeah.
Like it had me so stoked up, man. So I was pumped over that just because of the experience.
Yeah.
I think so many people get lost in it, wanting to
For sure
compete and outdo. Like if it's your thing, it's your thing. But like if you want to just go and have a good time and fill your tag, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't feel like you have to do anything. You should do what you want to do and what makes you fulfill.
That's right.
It
Whatever
seems like
your
to me
butter probably ain't gonna melt mine.
It seems like to me in general, people who are pickier are less happy in general while they're like, I don't know. There's just something about that.
Oh, there's less. You probably
there's
have
a lot
less
more.
fun.
There's a lot more failure you're dealing with, but yeah, it's like there's so much more pressure and other things that go into it. Like it's just kind of.
I would agree.
For me, once you start crossing that bridge, you start kind of losing the whole point of it.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of on that side you're talking about, Matt, for deer hunting more so than.
Oh no, you're hardcore, dude.
Well, I know, but that's why I like to turkey hunt though, because it's so fun, and I just don't.
Yeah.
Like it's just
balances
I don't
out
care.
a little bit.
Like whatever. Like I don't care if we're shooting. I don't care what it is. So it's.
Does that
it's good to have balance.
Does that like scratch the itch enough for you to carry into the fall, or do you kind of feel? I know we've talked like you're starting to think about trying other species and stuff like that to do new things. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy like going after a specific big old buck and finding one. Like not because I want to kill the biggest deer, like that. That's not it. It's just like that. The pursuit of a particular animal is exciting to me, and it's a challenge, and it's just a personal thing. Like I don't think anybody else needs
That's
to
exactly
do it.
right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me fired up about it. Like that.
And it's not like you have to kill the biggest buck.
No.
I mean you've killed some giants, but like if you set out to just hunt this deer, you're just set on that.
Yeah. I enjoy that. Like that. It's almost like that relationship with the deer. But to your point, it does can get stressful. And I know you had a deer a few years back.
I did it one time, man.
What was that? Big giant 8-pointer or something like that?
Yeah. It was a monster 8-point. Ended up grossing 174 and something. And I did it one year, man.
Yeah.
I had pictures of that deer for like 4 years, but I killed other deer. And then I thought he died, and then he showed up on August 23rd. No, it wasn't. He showed up on No, it was the first picture I ever got of him was September 11th, and it was in 16.
Okay.
And all he had was big. He had a 8-point frame, but he had just these. He probably had 8-inch brow tines at that point. It was on September 11th, and I said, and I've never named a deer.
Yeah.
So I said, man, we're going to name him Twin Towers.
Yeah, naturally, yeah.
And then I hunted him, but killed other deer. And then the year before I really set in on him, he was probably 155-inch 8-point. Really clean, just a monster, heavy. And saw him twice that year, both times on the ground. And then, and that was in timber. And then the next year, like I thought he was dead because I had some cameras out through the summer on minerals and never got a picture. Then on August 23rd, it was a Sunday. Because I remember I woke up and got my camera, my phone, and I'm sitting there and I said, "Oh shit!" And I started hitting Stacy, and I jumped up, and I was like, "Yes, he's alive! He's alive!" And he, Lord, that deer drove me crazy that year.
Yeah,
I mean, that was I had fun. The problem is like 2 mornings. I was within 60, 70 yards of him 2 mornings. I knew I was in I was probably in the living room.
Yeah.
And, just a little bit too far from his bedroom. And I thought what's crazy about the whole thing, Brett, other than him driving me crazy, is that once the deer got killed, everybody started posting pictures of this deer.
Yeah.
Of where he was at. And it was unbelievable. Like if their dates and times were correct,
Yeah.
70% of the time that I was hunting, I wasn't even in the ballpark.
Yeah.
When I thought I was.
Like,
because
how many miles are we talking?
He'd probably be 2 or 3 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
As a crow flies.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is
But
like
you're-
5
you know-
miles in West Virginia distance.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how much he traveled. I mean, even one boy had him across the river, across the 4-lane and across the river, a couple pictures. And of course it was in November, and the year before. But like, it was just nuts how much that deer traveled on the days that I really thought that I had opportunity to see him. If those guys' cameras were correct, there was no wonder I didn't see him. He wasn't there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, and then once he got killed, and congrats to the guy that killed him, you know, but once he got killed, I was like, man, and I'd passed 2 deer that year that I'll kill any year of my life. And after that happened, I said, I won't do it. I mean, I would love to kill a booner. I would, if it's there, but I can guarantee you I'm not ever passing 130 or 140 inch deer up ever again. I don't care what's in the air. I don't care if there's 6 booners in the area. and the 135 inch deer walks by me, I'm going to collapse his lungs. I am.
Yeah.
Because I have fun doing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is you're doing what you want to do and you've dialed that in, right? You know what you want to do now and you're doing it, which I think is the most important thing for people. You know, a lot of people are trying to do what they think they should do or what they think other people want them to do, or they're doing this or doing that. They haven't done enough, experienced enough, tried enough to know actually what they like to do. And my whole thing is like, do what fires you up and what you enjoy doing the most. And if that's
I mean, that's
whatever,
the whole thing.
You know,
I'm probably not going to kill that big booner in my life because I'm not waiting for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me.
Well, then who cares?
because to me, you know, 110 inch deer, 120 inch deer, and you know, it's whatever melts your butter, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do your thing.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think it's good that you've figured out. It's good that you experienced that too with that one deer, because now you know that's not for you.
I
right?
know that I ain't never doing it again.
There you go.
and I have spot and stalked some absolute slungers that are over. You know, I've spot and stalked a couple of 180s, and it just barely didn't work out. And I've seen, you know, I had a 200 in Ohio. And that same guy that I hunted with on the ground, we were hunting together, and we found a big sign, and he was hunting about 2 flats below me, which probably 150 yards below me, a couple 100 foot in elevation. And he rattled all morning long, and man, and we didn't even have cell phones back then. We had little 2-way radios. And I said, hey man, why don't you shut up for a minute and let me rattle? Because I was up on the ridge in a low gap, and I didn't. He said, "Okay, go ahead." Well, I rattled, and I stopped. I seen 3 sets of legs coming over. First one was a real nice 8-point. The other one was about 155 inch 11-point, which I'll tell you how I know that here in a second. And then the third one comes across. I'm telling you, it's the biggest buck I've ever seen on live on hoof in the woods. Guaranteed 200 inch deer. And they come across and they're coming right to me. And I said, oh, yeah. And now some time has expired. They just didn't come running in.
Yeah.
These deer are coming right to me. And my buddy starts rattling again. I hadn't hung my horns up for 5 or 6 minutes, and that son of a bitch starts rattling again. The 8 point and 11 point turn and go straight to him. And that big buck, like, he don't know what's going on. He's sitting back there about 80 or 90 yards, just kind of watching. Well, I heard all kinds of racket down there. With that 11 point, he comes up, falls over about 45 yards from me. I said, damn. And I'm still sitting there, waiting. Well, that 8 point runs up. I said, hell, I'll shoot him. Well, my buddy wasn't real confident in his shot. So he starts rattling again after he shoots. And pulls that 8 point back down to him. And then that big buck kind of turned and went back over in the holler. And I'm like on the radio, and I was like, have you had enough? What we doing? And he said, I think I shoulder bladed that 11 point. And I said, yeah, he's up here laying. He said, well, man, I'm glad you got on the radio. He said, Miss 8 point come right back down here. I said, yeah, they were right up here with me. I said, you killed the middle-sized one. He said, what do you mean? I said, my God. And we ended up going over in that holler and scouting. I mean, biggest sign I've ever seen.
Really? Oh, shit.
But never did see it there again. But was that, but I just, like, I'd love to kill big deer like that, but like, I'm very happy with, as long as it's a good experience.
Yeah.
And a good hunt. And now that we film everything, man, filming, I'm a social guy.
Yeah.
So you always got somebody there to share the woods with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of the time there's 2 or 3 or 4 of us hunting together. I know it's crazy to deer hunt like that, but
yeah,
it's freaking fun, man.
Yeah, you guys like have an army up on those freaking mountains.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
We surround the sons of bitches and corral them up. No, we really don't. But I mean, we do hunt as a group.
Yeah.
And we'll have a couple guys that are shooters and a couple spotters, and it's just a really good time.
Yeah. How did you get started filming? I guess I don't really know that either. How did that whole thing transpire?
Well, back in 2000, maybe 4,
yeah,
or 5, I bought my first camera. It was a VHS-C.
Yep.
And didn't know squat about squat. Still don't know squat about squat. But I still got all those tapes, and I've always told these boys I'm going to pull them out and get them transferred somehow. And because me and my buddy Sean, we filmed a lot for 2 years, but we never did get anything going because we wasn't very serious. And then back in 15, Jay came and filmed a bear hunt.
Yep.
With us.
The Untamed Jay?
Yeah.
Jake Cox, is that his?
Yeah, Jay Cox.
Yeah, he came up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he filmed a hunt and kind of put a little thing together. I think he was on Vimeo.
Yep.
And really liked it. And then 18, a group of us, another guy was like, man, he came bear hunting with us, never bear hunted before. And he was like, man, this stuff is crazy. He said, this guy's crazy. He said, this right here will make for real content. And so they came to me and, asked if we could do it and put up the capital. And so we started and been uphill ever since.
Yeah.
just a daily battle.
Yep.
I mean, we've been through our ups and downs as a company, and it's no different than running my construction company or you running your company.
Yep.
It's all relative when it comes to business. So there's always ups and downs and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, especially in that industry or this industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not easy one.
No, and I mean it's just a lot of saturation now.
Yeah.
I really feel like for us, we started in February of 2018. And like we were on the tail end, in my opinion, of like that YouTube rush from
100%.
From like 15, and it was ending in 18.
Yeah. Wow. That's like right. We were started it really in 20. So I feel like we were just a tick behind. You know what I mean? We were like, oh man. But I mean, if we were 2 years later, even then, I mean, every year I feel like since then it's just got harder and harder.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, unless you have something, unless you're really concerted about like
find a little niche or something.
You just have something that you're really dedicated to the actual growth and the algorithm and producing that content, which, well,
and if
you don't want to do, I don't know.
If you're starting channels and you are filming and editing for that 5-year-old to 15-year-old audience,
right? Yep.
Then you're going to blow up and grow.
Yep.
Because it's really niche and really clicky, and I just think that those types of channels and our types of channels, like we're staying, I don't know if the word staying true, because it's a business. I mean, you're in the business of trying to get clicks and likes, but you don't want to do stuff for clicks and likes.
Right. Well, that's my point and also is like a creator, you want to produce content that you like.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to produce content that you hate just to produce it to someone else. Like that's always been my thing. Like I don't like, we want to obviously want it to do well, but at the end of the day, like we're not going to turn it into something we hate. So that
that's if you're not authentic and genuine, then you might spike, but I don't think long-term wise, I think, YouTube audience is pretty smart and pretty ruthless. I mean, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not having fun doing the type of content you want to do,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Then there's really no use in it. I mean, and I've told a bunch of people this, I mean, because I do live hard and I believe in working hard and playing hard and all the hard stuff. not the hard stuff like drugs. I don't do drugs. I'm just saying, going hard all the time, no matter what I'm doing. If I do die tomorrow, there is a library.
Yeah.
For when Brody grows up and he has kids, and I've been gone 15 years and Brody's 30 years old now. And he has children. And they ask where Pawpaw was. Well, Pawpaw died because he done something stupid. They can say, "Hey, here's Pawpaw.
Yeah.
Here's him talking. You can see his expressions. You can see his emotion. They're going to know me.
Yeah.
For generations.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look at black and white photos of my great grandfather. That's all we got.
Yeah.
And he's standing there just like, I don't think anybody back then was allowed to smile. You had to be hardcore or some shit back in.
Yep.
They look like they're miserable.
Yeah.
But that's all we got.
Yep.
And then you hear stories of them. But then your grandfather dies, and you hear stories of your grandfather. So now there's another generation out, and your dad's telling some stories, but then once your dad dies, the generation stuff, you start losing it
Yeah.
Mhm.
in your family. Seems like only people talk about is the last two generations.
that's-
everything before that, it's gone.
It's funny you say that because I was the other day I was doing some research on some town old property stuff for whatever, some real estate, and I was digging into some like old town records, and I was reading some accounts of stuff, and it's like the people, like the names are the names of roads and farms around here, but like I don't think anybody knows I shouldn't say that. That's not 100% true, but no one alive knew these people or knows really much about them, right? It's in some obscure document in like the town hall where I'm finding this stuff now. And that's all there is. That's all that's left of like their legacy. I mean, obviously their name's there, but like, I mean, what does that name matter if like it's not tied to any, like no one knows who that person was or what the name even means. I had to dig into this thing. I don't live in the town now, but I lived in the town for like a decade and grew up next to it. I've heard these names, but I don't even know, who, like, I don't know why that road's named that. And it's like, oh shit, that's because his family was there like 100 years ago or 200 years ago, whatever. And then, but it's like kind of lost.
Yeah.
It just becomes obscure and it just gets lost in time.
Yeah. And with YouTube, the channel might go dormant, but those videos are always going to be there.
Yeah. Right.
And if you think about it, I mean, you just go on for generation and generation. I mean, they might be talking about me like they do Alexander the Great, a couple thousand years. Dude, you never can tell. I might be like Leif Erikson. I mean, that's what you're shooting. I mean, that's what I'm shooting for. It's just for remembrance, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be forgotten. Like our family's past generations have been forgotten.
That's what I mean. It's because there's really, and it's not. How can they not be to an extent unless they did something exceptional that just like impacted millions of people, and of course those people, but like
before the world of technology.
But even a person that like had a really successful life, was a great guy, even helped the community, like those stories are gone within a generation or two even. And it's like it's even people that were super successful, like to transcend that, you have to be ultra successful, ultra well known, touch millions and millions of people. And if you didn't do that, then
you look at a perfect example of somebody famous died. Look at everybody talked about Steve Jobs.
Yep.
When he was living.
Yep.
What he did, and then he's passed away. Now nobody's forgot about Steve Jobs, but like he's not talked about.
Yeah.
And he's not talked about it. And he did big things for the technology world. Where we're at today is because of him.
Yeah.
And he gets brought up, but like he's been forgotten because he's been dead several years.
Yeah. Not even that long. Not even that long. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's wild. It's I guess the video is kind of like, to an extent, immortalizes you and your story and your family and your legacy.
It's pretty easy to download something and have it yourself forever, even if it's something somebody else puts on YouTube or whatever. Yeah,
so I think you're right. Do you want a fake version of you that's doing something just to get views, that's your legacy? That's the only thing that's going to be remembered about you? Or do you want it to be your authentic self that created the content that you wanted and that you enjoy, and like regardless of if other people did or not? I think there's that's
exactly right. And that's I think that there's channels out there that are authentic. I mean, I've been around them and can vouch for them. That's the people I like. I mean, I don't like being around you guys, but y'all are all right. You know, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
But it is. It's. Dude, the channel has just been great on meeting people
oh yeah.
around the country, and forming relationships that turn into friendships. Man, it's cool as hell.
It is. It definitely
Um,
is. It's really cool. It's we're fortunate to be able to do that.
I mean, because I can tell you right now that if I wouldn't have ever done it and met people, I mean, I'd be. Which I got no problem just staying and hunting in West Virginia, Kentucky, Virginia, Ohio. But man, it's afforded me a lot of life experiences, and and I don't see those experiences ending anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's one of the most valuable things.
We've been kind of heavy on last couple weeks talking about getting kids into it, and then Brett, we're talking about it with your sons. I know.
Yeah.
How old is Brody?
Brody's 16.
Do you have any others, or is it just him?
I've got a nephew that's 21.
Oh, hey. Speaking of I don't know if it's the same nephew. I think it might be. Maybe not. I, in the back of my mind, remember something about this, but it didn't really stick. And then Kyle McDonald, one of our guys, sent me a clip from social media like yesterday of you on The Voice.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, and I'm like, it was like ringing a bell. I remembered something about this. Like it was, I think someone had, I don't know if it was you or whoever had mentioned something about your nephew. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. And then I saw it and I was like, holy shit. Josh is on The Voice. And is that the same nephew or is that a different one?
Yeah.
It is the same nephew. Yeah. That was pretty cool to see. I was laughing. Like I wished you got more air. And I haven't watched the whole episode, but I was like, I hope they just stick the camera on his freaking face. Like, and maybe they did. I don't know. I didn't.
Well, when the first chair turned, I'm almost positive that I dropped the F-bomb. And I was like, let's, go. And, I'm screaming, man. And I'm pretty sure it got cut out.
Yeah.
Because it goes to me like screaming at more.
I saw that part.
Because, like, when you're out there, they flew us out there for like an 8-day window. But then when you get in the studio, it's kind of crazy. Like, we were thinking we was going to walk out and, I was going to chum it up with Carson Daly a little bit. Ask him how he's been. And like he's not there, and like more comes on stage, and then you all seen Mr. Deeds?
Yeah.
With Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how the butler
Mr.
just
Sneaky?
kind of all of a sudden just shows up and he's standing over his corner like and Stacy even says, I guess they just kind of put Carson in the video when they'll edit it, put him in there, and then all of a sudden I look over my shoulder and he's like, "Hey man, Carson Daly," like he's standing there, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And but then it was a great experience, and it's been a great experience for my nephew Moore, and he's still putting music out. If y'all listeners want to go hear him, is it Moore Ilderton Music on all your listening channels. I don't know what those are called, platforms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
he's
he
pretty good too. Like what did he get? I'm trying to think. So when was that?
So we went out and recorded in June.
Oh, it was right. Okay. Shit. I didn't realize it was right.
And
then
the show started in September.
Okay.
Gotcha. And he made it to I don't know what battles or knockouts. He made it past the first one and got to the next one, and then he come home.
What was the reason for that? Was it didn't like it, or just had other plans? Or I always wonder
other plans.
Yeah. Just like other opportunity potentially.
Potentially, things work out.
Yeah.
I don't think that all these contestants from across the country go out there to California. And California's kind of not the type of place that we've been raised.
Of course, not even close.
And we haven't raised our boys the same way that maybe some kids have been raised out there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of differences, and when you grow up in West Virginia, you're kind of in this bubble down here, and you can be naive to what's outside in the world. It happened to me when I went to the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And you can be naive to people and ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
He just think it was mutually decided, that he wanted to just come on home. But he doesn't hunt. He's asked to go bear hunting some with the hounds because he loves dogs, but he didn't come and live with us. He came and lived with us when he was 15 or 16. My mom raised him from 2 years old at that time, when we were highly involved, him growing up, but then he came and lived with us when he was, I think, 15 or 16. But he never has hunted. Brody started hunting with me when he was 3 years old. I still have the very first picture at the first bear hunt. He got his dog leaded around his neck and his, his hoodie on with his bibs, and I got a couple of diapers in my back pocket and some wipes, and he's on my shoulders, and we're going to the tree. I think that any outdoor sport with dogs involved gets kids involved. And Brody has probably seen 175 bears in trees. And he's never killed one to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
Just doesn't want to?
No, I mean, I think it's like the true spirit of why people hound hunt, why we do it. Like, he just loves being out there for the dogs.
Yeah.
And because it's like every time we go to a tree, we were like, Brody, it's your turn. This is your bear. And he was like, nah, I'm good. But he didn't like guns when he was young. He didn't like the gunshot. His ears was real sensitive.
Yep.
Because he quit deer hunting. He killed a couple of deer when he was like 5 years old. And he pretty well quit hunting, which bothered me inside, but I never said anything.
Yeah.
And I always told him, you want to go, all you got to do is tell me, we'll go. But if we're going to hunt with a gun, you have to practice.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. You're going to have to shoot. And so then he would go bow hunting with me a little bit. We kind of just, we'd go out and sit in a blind, or we had a buddy stand that we'd sit in. He'd go to sleep. I'd hunt. But we was just doing our thing. I didn't give a shit if crap fell out of the sky on us. We was going to do it together. But I never did say, hey, you're going to hunt. And this is my personal opinion on parenting kids to get in the outdoors. But I never put no pressure on him.
Yeah.
I would tell him the night before, hey, I'm going hunting in the morning. And this was from the time he was 7 or 8 years old. I'd say, I'm leaving at 3:45. You either set your alarm and get dressed and get in the garage.
Yeah.
Or you can just lay in bed. It don't make no difference to me.
Yeah. And
he'd get up some and go with me, but then COVID hit. Was that 20?
Yep.
Yeah, COVID hit in 20. And he said, I want to turkey hunt. And I said, you know the rules. You got to go shoot the shotgun. He said, okay. So we loaded him up a big 3.5-inch mag.
Oh, you did you?
Oh, yeah. Still got the video of it, by God.
How old is he at this point?
He's 11 years old. And Jay Cox and Jay Blackwell, another guy that hunts with, is like, Josh, you're going to ruin him. And I said, well, here's the thing. He don't know no better. And if he shoots it, he's never going to have to worry about it the rest of his life. And we put him up against a tree. And Blackwell was sitting there in slow-mo on his phone. And it looks like his face turns into one of them 3D images of a woman being pregnant. You know what I mean? When it's all just smashed in this slow-mo video. I'll send it to you. And he's like, oh, man. And, he peppers the target. He doesn't jerk or anything. And he's like, man, he said, that kicked. He said, that hurt a little bit. And I said, look, did it hurt that bad? I said, you're going to have to shoot another one. He said, okay. I said, did it hurt? He said, a little bit. I said, listen. And it was a Mossberg 935 is what it was. They're deadly on both ends. And I said, look, that's the hardest kicking gun that you'll shoot.
Yeah.
And I said, now here, we're going to shoot the shells you're going to be hunting with. And buddy, from that time forward, he's eat up with turkey hunting. And he killed his first Pope and young deer 2 years ago with his bow. And now we have the same rules. That year of COVID, we were driving to Virginia, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And as long as we could drive, I had a Toyota Camry. As long as we could drive down, not have to stop at any gas stations, and we could get back to where we was living.
Yeah.
That's how far we would go.
Yeah.
So we'd drive 2.5 hours every morning to hunt, and then hunt a half a day and drive home. And leaving at 2 a.m. And we hunted every day in West Virginia, Kentucky, Virginia, and Ohio that year. And he only missed 2 days. He was in the garage waiting every morning for me. Now, he slept once he got in the car both ways. But I'd tell him, hey, if you want to sleep in, you sleep in. If you want to go hunting, you be in the garage.
Yeah.
So he did it all on his own. And even if he didn't go, I didn't get pissed.
Yeah.
And even now, I know he's older. He's in sports big time. He's starting to sniff around a little bit. So, he's got girls on his mind, but he still likes to go hunting. But like if he doesn't hunt as much as he has in the past, there's other things that high schoolers should be enjoying.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. It's tough to be. I feel like once you get into sports, and you're in, say higher high school, college, it's tough to hunt. It's tough to make time to do it.
Absolutely.
It's hard to do it. Like I think most people, that's like probably the time, that are serious hunters and have been most of their life. That's a time where they probably hunt the least.
Yeah. And then you got to kind of get back. I had the same experience.
Yeah. I was 100%. I remember though, like when I was done with college, I was just like dove right in. And I was like, I was like, all right, I'm ready to do that. Like I want to hunt now. Like,
yeah,
like I don't want to play baseball anymore. I don't want to go to class. I want to hunt. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. But I told him, in high school, he'll say, well, I don't get to hunt, playing football. But you also ain't going to get those bus rides anymore.
No.
You only get so many bus rides with your buddies.
Yep.
You only get so many locker room experiences. There's only so many games.
Yep.
Enjoy it while you can. You're going to get to hunt. I'm not going to quit hunting.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have time to hunt. But he still makes time for it. But it's just not top priority for him right now.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, it sounds like something that he's going to do long term to me.
I think no matter what, he's going to become a fine little turkey hunter.
Yeah.
Because he's eat up with it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get to do it a lot because of, late season run on basketball and then baseball's already started.
Yeah.
So he gets to hunt on Sunday mornings, and hopefully he'll get to hunt a couple of Saturdays if the coach gives him some late practices. But that was not the case last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he'd been on a couple. I guess he didn't kill anything last year. We tried a few times, and we pie-faced a couple. You know, I do that quite a few times every season.
Do you?
My hearing ain't the best in the world. Brett knows this. Brett knows this all too well. I mean, I've been to the Northeast 3 times now. Twice.
Sounds about right. Twice, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and both times Brett and I have had my hearing experiences. So
fiascos, fun times.
Yeah. I mean, they're not quite calamities, but they're fiascos.
Yeah, we've had fun. It's been an adventure.
And like I'm adamant, you know, and I know I can't hear, but like that's 200 yards. Gosh, it's just right there I'm telling you, it's 200. You know, even knowing I can't hear, I'm still adamant about it. Then you push about 10 yards and one fly out of the tree on you. It's happened all too often.
No, it's fun. So what do you have planned for turkeys this year? You're coming up at some point, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. That camp, you know, and spending time with y'all is like one of the best trips of the year for me. It's just an absolute hoot. But I think Brody plays tomorrow night in regional play. If they win, they play next Friday. And if they lose next Friday, then I'll probably leave right after his game and drive through the night and head to Florida.
Oh, okay.
And I'll try to, and then if they win, they'll play the next week. So but I'm still going to leave and hunt as many days as I can between Florida and Alabama, and then I'll get back for game time.
Okay, gotcha.
And that'll kind of be the only trip leaving like our 5 or 6 state region.
Yeah.
Because like the seasons, like this is the year that the seasons fall right.
Okay.
With West Virginia coming in late, and then Virginia,
Kentucky's super early, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't Kentucky coming in super early this year?
Yeah, I mean we got 2 weeks for Kentucky and Virginia, Tennessee, before West Virginia. So, and both youth seasons, which Brody usually gets to hunt at least one of those days on the weekend. So we're really excited about this region on the dates because they don't fall like this, but like I think every 4 years.
Yeah, right.
You know, last year, a 7-state region right here opened on the same doggone day.
Yeah.
And that really foul up some scheduling.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to kill a lot of turkeys and keep moving.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that opening 2 days in any state. That's like the best. You know, like that first crack at them is just the best. So if they're all staggered over a 2-3 week, that's just
it's a blast because I mean you're on birds every day, you know,
as fresh as they're going to be all season. You know.
Yeah.
No, that's man.
And then come up to depending on how tags get filled. Probably could leave as early as the 15th of May.
Yeah.
No later than the 18th. And head up that direction somewhere. Meander around, see if we can't get one roustered up.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find something to get into.
You know, I'd like to stop in PA.
Yeah.
And hunt a couple of days, and then I want to go I want to go to Maine first and then swing back down.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good plan. Maine's.
Because it's just so far, dude.
It is. I know.
I mean, that drive, last year, them suckers wouldn't help me drive none. We left out there at 3:30 in the afternoon. And I was falling asleep at 2 in the morning. Cole said, yeah, man, I'm good. He slept from 3:30 to 2. I said, I can drive the rest of the way. He drove about 2 hours and hit me. Hey, I can't keep my eyes open. I jumped up. Zach, he won't drive.
No?
No, but he don't sleep either because I make him nervous when I'm driving. You know what I mean? But he won't drive either. And then I gotta listen to him. You know, he's hitting the air brakes over there, and he's hitting the air steering wheel and everything in the world on me. And I think we rode back in about 7:30 that next morning.
Yeah, it's a long. Yeah,
it's a trip, but I mean it's so worth it. But I don't want to have to drive that from.
I get it.
3 hours into
Yeah.
Maine.
Yeah, because you can get way up into Maine, but yeah, we'll figure out the best option. We got a lot of options. Obviously, we've been kind of hanging around this. Not necessarily. You've seen a bit, but there's some good stuff to be had still that you haven't got into. So
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, and I don't care if we where we go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh, it's gonna be Maine's. I don't know. It's probably at the top of the list, damn near the top of the list for turkey states. I mean, it's right there. It's just,
you get 3
it's
tags,
just
right?
insane. Nah, 2, but yeah, half the time you have your 2 tags for about 20 minutes.
Well,
then you're done.
I like that kind of.
Oh, I know you do. That's why you'd like Maine. You're gonna love Maine. You can shoot 2 at once in Maine. You can. Yeah, it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt all day, which is not like the rest of the states up here.
No.
You got a bunch of shales.
I don't know. I heard there's a tungsten shortage or something. I actually, I got a.
They said they weren't shipping any more weapon grade steel over here.
Yeah, we got to check. I got back here. I got my. I haven't even looked. I gotta do that. I'm glad you reminded me. I should write it down, but I gotta go check.
Make me up a few.
I'm not rolling them. I'm buying them. So
I don't know if he's told you or not, but last 2 years I've come up there. I've shot hell dry, and I shoot my shells, and I say, Brett, I need some shells. Hell, but see, I cabbage on to them. I don't give them back if I don't shoot them. Hell, I brought 5 or 6 back to West Virginia with me for the next season.
Just save them for this year. Bring them back up, and then you can have your own shells.
Hell, I shot them all last year.
Well, now you get your glasses, so you should be all set.
And the glasses might help. The glasses might help.
I don't know why I miss. Sometimes I don't get it.
You just like shooting.
I do like to shoot, though. I do. Hell, 2 years ago, it was I missed one, then Zach be on the gun, he'd kill one. Then I'd kill one, then he'd miss one. Then I missed one, kill one. He missed one. I think we missed 9 or 10 birds that year. It was
listen, I'm not John has. I'm not saying I've never missed a turkey, but at all, and I'll miss more. But like I don't know. I just sometimes don't get it.
Yeah, well, I don't get it either. I mean, you're shooting a scatter gun.
I know.
I mean, that first bird I missed in Vermont a couple of years ago.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was.
I mean, he springboarded off the limb and just landed right there, 15 yards. And I probably had a better chance giving him a heart attack than I did killing him. I still don't know how I missed him.
That footage was awesome. Well, yeah, we had the gun issue.
Oh yeah, the footage is sick. You know, the shot is shit. But I
You're not
don't know.
alone.
I don't know if I get excited or
Maybe you
or
gotta start
what,
shooting
but-
cheaper shells. Or lighten
No,
up the
he,
choke a
he
little
needs
bit.
all the help he can get. He needs to shoot the
Yeah.
expensive stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should shoot a little more, but I have a good time.
We'll keep track this year. We'll keep a tally, a shell count. See how you do.
I'm well with the way the ammunition is. I'm gonna be conservative, Brett.
Oh, okay. I believe it when I see it. I think you like to pull the trigger way too much to be nervous.
Heck, I shot one last year on last day of Kentucky season, and I had to run up and grab him pretty good. He did a number on me,
Did he?
but he was about 55 yards, 60.
Yeah.
I shot both of his legs out from under him.
Oh no.
That's the only reason I caught him.
Yeah.
I mean, literally snapped both of his legs at the joints. He was running around on pegs,
Oh,
and I finally got him.
rodeo.
Oh, it was a good time.
See that? Yeah, no, that's not for. Oh, that stuff. I just like boom, flop, done. Like that's what I like.
Yeah, I've never had to chase one. I've either.
Oh, I've had to
either-
chase them. Don't get
either-
me wrong. I've had to chase them. Plenty of them.
It's always been a clean
But
miss or a flop.
I like.
for me.
Man,
Man, I had to tackle that one that me and KP and Ward was on that I shot.
Did you?
Yeah. KP was hollering, hit him again. I said, I'll catch up with him, Bubby.
Oh man. Well, I'll check the shells and see what I got for y'all. There's plenty of backup.
Oh, no. Jay
Uh,
made us a bunch. We ordered a bunch
Did
of TSS early in the year.
Oh, good.
And Jay, he made me 25 20 gauges and 20 12 gauges. So that'll probably make it. That'll probably make it through the year, maybe.
I hope. I hope. I gotta check though. I've been so busy. I haven't really got to. I haven't gotten the turkey mode yet.
Are you all just sticking in the region?
I thought John was. What the hell?
He's thinking about coming down the opening week.
Yeah, I am.
Going to tag along?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to. It's not off the table. I just don't know. The other thing I was thinking, and I got to look at it, and I actually just was talking with my wife yesterday and with the boys, but I haven't said anything about turkeys the whole season, like at all. And then they said, hey, when can we start turkey hunting? Because it got warmer yesterday, and I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like, all right. And so we were looking at some of the youth seasons, and I was like, well, you can't start till late April here. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe we can take a weekend with them and go somewhere and hit a youth opener or something like that. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out. I do want to I love that part of it. Like that whole where you live, Eastern Kentucky, like, West Tennessee. Well, I guess, yeah, it's more west, north. I love that area. It's just for turkeys in the spring. I just love that area in the spring for turkeys. I think it's awesome. So
Well, just load all them crumb crunchers up and come on.
yeah, might have to.
You
If
know,
they can handle the car ride. But yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm just trying to see. We got a bunch of stuff some farm stuff, closings and stuff right around that time too. So I don't know what we're gonna have to be doing and where I'm gonna have to be. So I'm kind of waiting to play it by ear. But I love going to that area in April. It's just I know you like coming up here, but like I actually think I almost like that area in April better than anything for hunting turkeys. I really do. I just love those.
there's nothing like hunting mountain birds.
No.
There really isn't. I mean, and I've hunted turkeys in quite a few places, but now when you're hunting them in the mountains,
yeah. And our mountains are cool, but we just don't have the turkeys just aren't up there like they are like where you're at. That's the difference because down there, your birds are dispersed throughout the mountains. Here, you'll find one up there, but I mean, they're just down low most of the time, like most of them are. And so that's a place where you can actually go and hunt true mountain turkeys. And the topography is just so awesome. Like it's just, I feel like it's just made for turkey hunting.
Oh
those
yeah,
spines,
that
like
whole
I love it.
area that you're talking about, that eastern Kentucky and southern West Virginia, and you know, you can even get into it in southeastern Ohio.
Yep, 100%.
In the mountains there. And I hope Ohio's turkey population comes back. They're down to one turkey limit. And,
yeah. I feel like they should have done that 10 years ago, though.
Probably. But there's counties over there, man, they're flooded with turkeys, and there's counties with none.
Yeah.
That you would think that they'd just be overrun. But they're not. I mean, on public, they're not populated like they used to.
Yeah.
Where we hunt over there, I mean, it ain't the same. And I don't know what's hit them so hard, but hopefully they'll get rebounded over there and get it back good.
Yeah.
That's a hard tag to buy when you're, when we do what we're doing, filming, there's always a return on investment and cost for tags, and you're trying to look at all that. In Ohio, just getting one turkey, it's tough to go over there and hunt anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, their license cost is gone. I mean, it was always pretty reasonable. It's gone up a little bit, but I don't blame them, but, you know.
And it would be very reasonable if you got two birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Kentucky's expensive.
So, yeah.
You get Kentucky's pretty damn good, though. I don't think you can complain about Kentucky turkey hunting or deer, really. But
no, I think Kentucky's got it going on.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I think Kentucky for whitetail could reasonably come out with some really special bucks over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, they already
yeah.
kill a lot of good bucks every year, but world class bucks. I think that they're going to come out of Kentucky. I think it's just a great state. From the east to the side to the west.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a good place for whitetails and turkeys and elk too, if you can draw a tag. But good luck.
Well, I've been putting in for it since the first year they've.
Have you?
Yeah.
What are the odds,
buddy? I don't even know what the odds are.
Odds
are that I'm gonna spend $10 for me and everybody in my family and buy cow chances, bull chances, bow chances, and then see what happens. That's the odds for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I would guess that the odds ain't very good.
No, I don't think so. I think they're like sheep odds.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to try elk hunt or not.
You don't know if you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I was there. I think I do want to try it, but I'm still like so torn. I have a fair amount of points in some western states, and I'm just like I don't know if I want to take the dive. You know,
they say if you take the dive that all you do is just keep on swimming deeper.
Yeah.
Now I would like to go chase muleys.
Yeah.
I would like to go chase muleys on the ground. I just don't know if I can. Mm-hmm. I can't do that elk hunting. You know, it gets into my bear hunting, and I'd much rather run hounds than I would chase a elk.
Let's talk about that quick. How many hounds do you have now?
I've got right now I've got 5 3/4 dogs. Yeah.
That puppy's not quite there yet.
Well, see, I got 2 pups. One's about halfway there, and then the other one's only 10 weeks old, so he's just a quarter.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll have 6 dogs this hunting season.
Gotcha. How long you been running dogs for?
What's that?
How long you been running dogs for?
So I started bear hunting in the year I got out of the Marine Corps. I got invited to northern West Virginia to go on a hound hunt. And I hound hunted as like a helper, just riding with somebody and helping him with the dogs, never owned my own dogs. Yeah. I did that for probably 8 or 10 years. I didn't own any dogs until 2009, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because our season here was not open for hounds. You could bear hunt, but you weren't allowed to bear hunt with hounds in southern West Virginia. But I think it opened in 2008 or 2009. And when we found out it was opening here, we traveled the damn state. We learned real fast what dog swindlers were, and we bought pot liquors from every corner of West Virginia. We were gone for like 24 hours driving around just buying dogs. Everybody was selling us their trash.
Really?
That next year, we only caught one bear, and it was during training season. We never even caught a bear during kill season. But, man, we loved it. And then we started getting better at it, started getting better dogs and starting to figure it out. And, Gorman totally changed the hound hunting game. When I started bear hunting, you'd carry a big blue box on your chest and you'd have an antenna out the window listening for a beep.
That's crazy.
And it'd be like, okay, beep. You hear beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
So in this direction, hey, they're this way. Who knows how far they are, but they're that way. Let's go. And that's the nights of hound hunting. You're out there till 12, 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
With Garmin, it's they drop a pin for you where they're at.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it really changed how many bears you catch. Changed the safety of your dogs, the safety of the hunters. We're not affiliated with Garmin at all. I'm just saying they changed the game for hound hunting, and but since then, since the season opened, I've been through a lot of dogs. I've had as many as 16 dogs at one time, and but dog food is damn expensive.
Oh yeah.
You got 16 vet bills. You got 16 vaccines.
I don't know if I told you, but we used to have sled dogs. I might have told you.
Yeah, you told me that.
We had like 20, and it's a lot. It's like we get that many dogs. It's like that's what you're doing. You're freaking. You have a kennel pretty much, and you're taking care of dogs.
You go on vacation. You got to have somebody take care of your dogs.
Yep. Yeah.
You're gone for a day. Somebody needs to go over and feed and water them.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to do these things, then you don't need to have hounds or sled dogs or any type of work dog. But, hound hunting is a big part of my love of the outdoors now. It's more just running the dogs. I could care less about killing bears.
Yeah.
I just want to run them and catch them. And then, like I said before at the beginning of the podcast, I've learned more about deer hunting, hound hunting.
Yeah.
Than I ever have about deer hunting.
Yeah, I can. That makes sense, honestly.
Zach killed one of the biggest bucks he ever killed because his dogs didn't chase the buck, but they were running a bear, and Zach went behind them, and those dogs jumped the buck, and he went back in there the next week and killed the damn thing 50 yards from where he jumped him.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. But stuff like that. And I think it's a social, hunt. You don't have to worry about camouflage or if you're a scent guy, you don't have to worry about no scent control if you deal, if you do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry. Kids can holler and scream, and it's just a good time. And from the conservation standpoint, dude, it'd take a lot of arguing with me to say that it's not the most ethical way to hunt for any game.
Yeah.
Because there's no other game that you can catch and release.
No.
You're either going to shoot at it or you ain't.
Yeah. Right.
We catch it. We can look at it. We can say yay or nay. If it's a mountain lion, we can say male, female, bobcat. You know, we have the choice to walk away or to harvest it.
Have you run cats out west?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Oh,
have?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh
Or
yeah.
maybe I did. I don't. Yeah, I must have.
Yeah, I've hunted in Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What other states can you run? Obviously, I know the Northeast ones, but what other states can you run bears with dogs?
Run bear, Michigan.
Okay.
I think Wisconsin has a small season. Most of North Carolina's a big hound hunting state, and they have a pretty good season. Kentucky, you can run hounds, but it's some bullshit 4 or 5 day season. There's states that allow bear hunting with hounds, but they really put a choke on it.
Yeah.
Because these people ain't complaining to their legislatures enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, they're going to vote their asses out. West Virginia, and it growing up here, like I was telling you earlier, with my nephew being naive, like when we started filming our bear hunts, like I didn't know the reach that we would end up getting.
Yeah.
And like very naive to being in our bubble in West Virginia, you know, we've only got 1.7 million people. A quarter of those people are license holders.
Yeah.
So there's a big voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For outdoor laws and regulations. And I feel like West Virginia is very conservative compared to other states.
Mm-hmm.
And then even more conservative on the hound hunting, because the bear hunters and the hound hunters here speak up. But I didn't realize all the shit that these other states have to go through and fight with outside interest groups and anti-hunting groups.
Yeah.
So we were really raw when we were putting out our content early, and Clay Newcomb had reached out and explained a lot of stuff, opened our eyes, opened my eyes, because I can be hard-headed at times. I know this. And I'm like, we're going to keep on doing what we're doing. I really don't give a shit what y'all think. But that's not the right attitude to have. I mean, I was wrong in that, because I never saw what these other hound hunters were going through.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like we've been a tremendously positive impact on hound hunting across the country. I mean, you see more and more of it from everybody, you know. And Clay said it for years, but if they get rid of hound hunting, they're just going to come after bow hunting or some other shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, for whatever reason, that bear, cat, wolf, coyote, that, I guess, predator-ish, it seems like that's what they go after first for whatever reason. That's the thing. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why, but that's what everybody goes after first.
It's the easiest to create propaganda and attack.
Yeah.
You know, I just saw something Californians think about re-implementing hounds for bears, but an outside interest group posted that, you know, House Bill 123 is going to let dogs attack bears. And it showed a bunch of dogs like on a bear. Well, that's not how it goes.
Nope.
You know.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with all that outside noise, and the only thing that's going to keep any of that from happening is you might not hound hunt, Brett, but I don't think you're going to be against it. No. I'm not going to be against anything that anybody does out here in the woods. Just get in the woods and do your thing. If it's legal, hey, I'm for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you want to sit over a bait pile for bear.
Yeah.
It don't bother me none.
Yeah.
Like, you hear more bear hunters that sit over bait talking bad about houndsmen and houndsmen talking about bait hunters.
Yeah,
than you do anything. I mean, they're sitting there just. It's like the Dems and the Republicans right now. They're just at each other's throats. I mean,
Yeah.
can't we all just get along?
Yeah. Apparently not. At least not completely. Yeah. Well, hopefully we can stop that wave that's trying to take stuff. I mean, we can't shoot bobcats, which makes no sense. Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, that's about it. But they're coming after stuff for sure. They're coming after a lot of stuff.
No, I mean it's like your neighbor, New York. They allow people, and I've got buddies from down here that go to New York and run in the summertime for New York's training hound season.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't have a kill season.
Yeah.
I mean, who came up with that idea?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's nuts what some of these states do. But hopefully they don't keep on chipping away at it.
Yeah. Well, that was a good one, man. Thanks for taking the time tonight. Good luck in Florida, I guess. Oh,
well,
one quick question. What's that?
I hope I'm able to go down.
Yeah. Well, if your boy's playing, that's great too. But have you run pigs or boars with hounds?
No,
you haven't. Okay. Can you not do that in West Virginia?
We have done it accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you try to get your dogs back because them hogs will.
Yeah.
They will ruin your day.
Yeah. And you got the mean ones there, don't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because they're not like feral hogs, right? They're like Eurasian boars.
Oh no, they're Eurasian boars.
Yeah.
They came across the pond.
Yep. Yeah.
And I mean not the pond, I'm talking about the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
You hear me? Yeah, they're mean as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dropped my whole box on a track one morning and I totally forgot where I was at, and I knew I should have known something was wrong when everything in the dog box started barking. I just dropped the groceries on them, by God, the whole tailgate. And I mean, they stormed down there barking. I was like, boys, we're on a hot one here. It was about a minute later, Storm come running back up to me. I heard her squall, and her whole side was completely opened up. From her hind quarter all the way up to her shoulder. And just completely flapped open. And I threw her in the front seat, and I said, boys, don't come up here and cut loose. I said, it's a hog.
Oh, man.
And it was a big old boar. It got 9 out of 10 of my dogs that I cut loose that morning, and they were in bad shape.
Jesus. That's nasty.
And then me and Godfrey got into some turkey hunting, and that was an absolute calamity.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah. They're tough rascals, man, but they're fun as hell to hunt.
Yeah.
I that is something that I would travel across the pond. If I could go over there and get on one that you've seen them on YouTube and social media, they put those drives on and they just stand right on the ground and just go shoot. And that's kind of my, just firing away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would be an absolute hoot.
How big are those?
I killed one last, we have a winter season, so it's February of 24, and he dressed out at 271. And that's the second biggest hog I've ever seen.
Mm.
So they get pretty big.
Big and mean.
Yeah. They ain't no good to eat at that size, but you like to kill them 100-pounders, man. Oh, yeah. They melt in your mouth.
Those ones are good. But all right. Anyway, I was wondering about that. I meant to ask about the dogs and the hog or the boar thing. I guess.
Yeah.
Boars.
Not in West Virginia.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. So you're hoping going to Florida, and then I'll get in touch with you. And we'll figure out.
Yeah, just let me know, man.
Yeah.
Y'all are always welcome.
I'm gonna go and check my shelves and see if I need to stock up for you.
That's right, Bubby.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on, and
absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Enjoyed Josh. He's a wild man. He's great to share camp with and hunt with. He's just a blast, and I can tell you really appreciate the time that you spend in the outdoors and with, other guys, other companions and other friends. So it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Anything that you got?
Anybody is turkey hunting already or getting ready to? Good luck.
Yeah, good. That's coming.
We got a little ways to wait.
Yeah, unless we're headed south, but I don't think we're going too early this year. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, listening too.